Followers of the FIRE movement plan to retire much earlier than the traditional retirement age of 65. And here's how they plan to do it. They dedicate up to 70% of their income to savings while they are still in the workforce full time. Then once their savings reach approximately 30 times their annual expenses, or roughly $1 million, they may quit their day jobs or completely retire from any form of employment. And then to cover their living expenses in retirement, they devote to making small withdrawals from their savings, typically around 3 to 4% annually. Now, I would first take issue with that being a small withdrawal, 3 to 4%, because that's really where I think this thing can go sideways. First of all, is that's a very arbitrary number.
Yes.
And then the how behind that becomes very difficult. How are you going to generate 3 to 4% from that $1 million? Because if you intend that to be all income, good luck with that, where interest rates are. If you intend to sell shares of some of your investments, that creates a whole new set of problems.
I think there are just so many things that can go wrong with this plan.
Yeah.
And
it's not really much of a plan.
It's not really much of a plan.
Very broad.
But I think a lot of the concepts of what she was trying to get across about living more frugally, more, intentionally about things, not keeping up with the Joneses, I think those are all great things that all of us can do. But there's a happy medium there between retiring at 35 and maybe retiring at 65, somewhere in the middle. Potentially.
And maybe a little bit closer to the 65. Not really middle. Yeah. But let's talk about the savings rate on this, and just think about how many people do you know who, if they made every feasible sacrifice, could still save 70% of their income. Yeah. And I don't know very many. That list is not long. When you think about, for example, I have just the age group, and frankly, we're all kind of in this age group. I'm sure you have friends with kids a little bit older than what ours are, and they're out of college and they've got their first job. And so I have a couple of friends where their son is living at home right now. He would have moved to the East Coast and bought a house with his job and everything, but because of COVID, the company did not have him move. They said, you just stay and work from home in Arkansas, and at some point when all of this is over, we'll move you out here and you'll have a house. Well, that young man, he can save more than 70% of his income because he's living at home, and he has some expenses. They're requiring him to be an adult in the house instead of a guest in the house like he was as a kid, but not a lot of expenses compared to if he were living on his own. So he has an opportunity to really save a lot. Many people, frankly, you get out of college and you've got student loan debt. Or, whatever the scenario is, life happens pretty early on to put you in a situation where 70% is not feasible. But if that's not feasible, what we would encourage you to do is save more than most people do. Most people aren't even doing the recommended 15%. But between you and your employer, if you can save 15%, then you're going to put yourself in a pretty good situation as far as retirement. But if you can do more than that, then that puts you in the boat of being able to retire reasonably early. Not FIRE movement, but reasonably early.
Want more content like this delivered to your inbox weekly? Visit fastest4.com to learn more.